Every day it becomes more clear that Donald Trump and Elon Musk are not co-presidents. Elon Musk is running the show. While Donald Trump is tweeting and golfing, Elon Musk is gutting our government. And the latest action that he and his Dogebags have taken might be the scariest of them all and potentially the most criminal, because we just obtained in some breaking news a leaked email from Elon Musk that reveals how far he is willing to take his effort to destroy our government. And we are going to get into that all. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video. And if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way and it really does mean a lot to me. Now, before we get into this breaking story, we saw another extremely impactful event tonight when Bernie Sanders gave a speech in Iowa directly calling out Elon Musk in relation to this action tonight. And so before we get to that story, I want to take a listen to Bernie Sanders.
And I should point out that the role of billionaires in politics, it's not just Musk, it's others. It's not just Republican billionaires, it is Democratic billionaires. It is the corruption of the two-party system. And that is why, among many, many other things, we have got to overthrow this disastrous Citizens United Supreme Court decision and move to public funding of elections. So in an America where the people on top are doing extraordinarily well, while over the last 50 years, you know why people in this country are angry? Over the last 50 years, the average that working people today are earning less in inflation-adjusted wages than 50 years ago, despite all of the increases in worker productivity and technology. Can you imagine that? Almost all of the new wealth that has been created has gone to the top 1%. So that's the reality that we're in right now. And I think about all of that, when I think about all of the money going to the top, working people struggling, I remember the very profound and prophetic statement that President Abraham Lincoln made at Gettysburg in 1963. And it's funny, every year I usually try to get to a parade in Vergennes, Vermont. It's a lovely parade on Memorial Day, and often the organizers of the parade bring up some high school kid who recites the Gettysburg Address. And if you all remember what Lincoln did, and this was in 1863, terrible battle in Gettysburg, thousands and thousands of soldiers killed trying to end the horror of slavery. And Lincoln looks out in the battlefield, and this is what he said, and it's important to remember, quote, "We here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people shall not perish from the earth."
We are at an impasse in American history on whether we allow billionaires to not only control our politics, but essentially be our politics. Elon Musk and his dark money are not a part of the government. It is the government at this point, and we have to step up and fight back, which gets more difficult to do every single day and is possibly going to be next to impossible if Elon is able to carry out his latest action that I want to get into in this story right here. Federal employees told to justify jobs in email, or Musk says they face dismissal. In Donald Trump and Elon Musk's latest move targeting the federal workforce, employees began receiving emails Saturday night asking them to explain what work they did last week. As Musk announced, the failure to respond will be taken as resignation. Please reply to this email with approximately 5 bullet points of what you accomplished last week and CC your manager. Please do not send any classified information, links, or attachments, reads the email, which comes from the Office of Personnel Management's HR email address but has no signature. The email's subject line reads, "What did you do last week?" CNN has obtained copies of emails sent to federal employees in multiple agencies. Many were sent with high importance or red exclamation marks. The email blast came on the heels of a social media post by Musk threatening federal workers who do not comply. Consistent with Donald Trump's instructions, all federal employees will shortly receive an email requesting to understand what they got done last week, Musk posted. However, the email itself does not state that failure to answer will be taken as resignation. It says the deadline for submission is Monday at 11:59 p.m. The email sent shockwaves through a federal workforce already reeling from an array of orders from the Trump administration, including the recent termination of thousands of employees on probationary status, a deferred resignation offer that many viewed as questionable, and a requirement to return to the office full-time. One president of a union chapter started getting texts from concerned members nonstop following Musk's post and the OPM email. "I don't have any clue what in the world that email means either," the union official told CNN, noting they are telling members to just stand by until I advise otherwise. The Monday deadline also raises questions about what happens to workers who are on vacation or sick leave, the official noted. Are they subject to termination because they were not available to respond? Other workers have told CNN that they do classified work that cannot divulge in any email or don't have access to computers all the time, which could cause them to miss the deadline. Another head of a union chapter told worried members not to respond to the email until Monday and to await further guidance from the union. The head of a top union representing federal workers lambasted Musk's ultimatum, telling CNN in a statement that it reflects the Trump administration's utter disdain for federal employees and critical services they provide to the American people. It is cruel and disrespectful to hundreds of thousands of veterans who are wearing their second uniform in the civil service to be forced to justify their job duties to this out-of-touch, privileged, unelected billionaire who has never performed one single hour of honest public service in his life, said Everett Kelly, national president of the American Federation of Government Employees, which represents more than 800,000 federal workers. Kelly said his union plans to take legal action to challenge any unlawful terminations of our members and federal employees. I thought that final statement was the most powerful and the most spot on. We all have to work to do whatever we possibly can to combat the disgraceful and unlawful actions of this unelected billionaire who does not care about our country. Can we please start talking about deporting this guy? Like, seriously, Steve Bannon said it, and I hate to agree with Steve Bannon, but it's time to kick Elon out of the country. I am dead serious. I am so fed up with this guy. It is just disgusting. This is one of the many actions he has taken to fulfill the goal that Russ Vought, who is the author of Project 2025, who runs Donald Trump's Office of Management and Budget, he said he wants federal workers to feel traumatized when they come into the office. And that is what this is accomplishing. And we've seen it before from Elon with his buyout offer, which Tim Kaine called out in a great takedown right here.
My advice to you today is simple, even if it's not easy. Don't give up. Don't give up. Keep serving everyday folks. You are here because of your expertise. You are here because of your patriotism. You are here because you know the value in dedicating your life to serving your fellow Americans. America needs you, and that has never been clearer than in the wake of the administration's federal funding freeze last week. I heard from folks in every corner of Virginia about the invaluable support they receive from federal workers just like you. Across the country, Americans are counting on you to deliver crucial services. from inspecting our food to make sure it's safe, to protecting our national security, from administering Social Security benefits to staffing air traffic control towers, to supporting our allies around the world and keeping the influence of China, Iran, and Russia at bay. I know it has been and will continue to be tough. Donald Trump and cronies are determined to do anything they can to knock you off course. They've even dangled a phony buyout in your face. But make no mistake, that buyout is a trap. Donald Trump has no authority to offer you a resignation buyout. Don't trust a guy with a long history of stiffing contractors by taking him up on a sham deal that he won't follow through on. You aren't alone. I'm going to be here with you every day working alongside you in service. I want to share with you some specific ways in which I want to be a resource to you. On my website, kane.senate.gov, I am collecting stories from federal workers about what you are experiencing. Under no circumstances will I publicly share any information you send me without your consent. You can also choose to submit your information anonymously if you prefer. I will be updating my webpage with information that may be helpful to you, including summaries of your rights, recourse you can seek if you believe you are being illegally terminated, and answers to other frequently asked questions my office is receiving. Please know that I'm doing everything I can to stand up for you, just like you're standing up for and serving American people. Thanks for all that you do. And with that, Madam President, I yield the floor and note the absence of a quorum.
Elon is an untrustworthy and criminal and corrupt billionaire. Donald Trump has made his living scamming people. I beg federal employees not to resign, not to take the buyout, because it's not coming. There is no appropriations for it. These guys will screw you over. This is terrifying. It's illegal. It has to be stopped. And we're going to call it out on this show every single day. God, I hate Elon Musk. And if you want to support that, if you want to be a part of this Elon hate club, as always, you can hit that subscribe button. You can leave a like on this video. And if you stuck around at the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments. And below, I'm going to drop a link to sign a petition to just have Elon arrested by Capitol Police because he's committing crimes. And he should be in cuffs. Seriously. Man, I'm fired up. Jeez. And until next time, on that note, I'll see you soon.